Da, 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 da. Oh my goodness. I have so much to do. Okay, let's work it out here. See what these are. Okay. So I'm setting everything up. We're all ready to go for me to start streaming. Just give me a few minutes and everything should be good to go. I haven't even been on at all since of course I ended stream yesterday. Just yeah. So it's just gonna be all Trove today, and I even gave myself a few questions for me to answer. Let's see. Except these things printed out horribly, horribly. So I gotta get like crafty with these things and blah blah blah. So well, there's that. And sorry again, by the way. Truthfully, I didn't have too good of a day yesterday. Like, I'm sure you could start to tell a little bit in the afternoon, but that's all been said and done. And I have a lot for us to do today. I have a lot for us to talk about. And I even loaded up some questions you guys can ask me about as well. Or if you're curious, what's going on? Um, all right. So just hang tight. I'm just gonna start everything up like I normally do. I'm just trying to find my normal jam. Let's see. What about this one? No. Hang on a second. This one? Okay. So sorry again, just trying to get everything figured out, but everything should be good for right now. Um I added in some new features as well for you guys, even more than before. And let's take a look. So I am streaming a bit earlier than usual, but it's just because of how the rest of my schedule is going to be looking for the rest of the day. And I also made sure to uh so that it's not finished yet, but I did make sure to include some new sounds for you guys whenever you follow or subscribe even. At least it's not finished yet, but at least you have some sort of audio. I had a lot of fun looking up sound emotes last night. It did take up the rest of my afternoon, but it was definitely worth it because, well, you guys know how when you're having off days and you just need something to, get yourself back on track. Just a second. See if I can bring this down a little bit more. Okay, and there we are. All right, so let's take a look at what is on my to-do list today. Okay. There we are. Everything looks good, typically in Cursed Kingdom. I think I'll just do this coin collection challenge while I'm here. I'm gonna start popping off some jams and... Oh wait, no, the jams are playing. The heck? Why can't I hear them? Are they not loud enough? Wait. Copyright free background music. There should be... Okay. There we are. Now we have it. Oh shoot. Okay. Hang on. There we are. And so let's see here. How is everybody doing today? You can also probably tell I actually found my mask or the second layer of it that covers like the rest of my face. And it was in a crazy place too. It was not where I was expecting. So let's see here. So after I finish stream, I can tell you guys about how it ended for the night, what happened today, and all that other jazz as well. I can even tell you about my dog and how smart he's getting too. He's getting like freakishly smart. It's starting to get harder to hide treats and stuff from him because what is it? The type of I think well typically this type of dog is usually a lot smarter than average. Well, that sounds a little crazy or condescending, but it's not, I promise. It's just mostly to do with like I guess their hunting style. But anyways, so after I finished live streaming yesterday, I was like bummed out of my mind. It was just for something unrelated, but I got that all taken care of now. All right, but for today, we are going to be, for the most part, just building some more of the Cursed Kingdom walls. I messed up that jump. And let's see. We are also going to be answering some questions you guys might possibly have about Trove or anything you might want to ask me as well. We should be doing most of that today. I actually just realized I forgot to change the title of the video. Oh shoot, I wasn't even paying attention. God dang. I was just collecting coins aimlessly. And there is now a new follow button. Or there's like new sound that goes with it. It's not permanent, but it's just better than I guess the basic one. And I'm really glad like, you know, how well it turned out. It took a minute to find a good audio. It's like I said, it's just temporary for a good bit. But it's just nice to have a better audio because, well, you know, using the same ones over and over again. Right. Let's see. So what happened today was I went to my classes like usual, but when I was in my first class, something crazy happened, which was not on my to-do list. So what I was planning to do was during my second class, where we had the coding going on for, you know, whatever I do, and before I got there, I realized it's like one of the worst things possible, which was, of course, whenever you forget your notes. But in this case, it wasn't necessarily me forgetting the notes. It was me realizing I had forgotten my what's it called? Or I forgot to charge my computer fully before I left, and it was only at 18% when I got there. But by some miracle, this computer with like 12 other things running in the background that I can't close for one reason or another, this computer held on and it was still able to compute everything like it normally, what the heck was that? Needs to do. And it looks like for today, okay, do 50 million. Ah, heck no. What the heck? No. 2 million. Oh, that's... Wait, what the heck is Stormy? I've never seen Stormy before. Also, I should probably adjust this a little bit for you guys. There we are. As you can see, I'm wearing my very lovely ramen shirt. I love this thing too because, well, I love ramen. Who doesn't love ramen? And so for 2 hours I will be building, but I also don't know how long each of these walls, well, it's going to take roughly 25 minutes, so 2 hours. That would mean I get about 4 completed walls done if I get the background and the ruins in as well. But let's take a look as well at the contest and everything. Tomb Raiser, Revivent, and Chloromancer. 2 out of 3 of my favorite classes. It's Tomb Raiser, Shadow Hunter, and Revivent. And oh yeah, I'm gonna buy these for sure. Oh, what? I think they devalued it. It was like 3 last time I remember. Since I'm here and I don't want to forget about it, I think I should probably pick up that bomb quest items anyways. So there it is. Okay, yep. And let's collect 3 of the... Oh, what? Oh, I ran out. Wait, can I convert some of these? No, I can't. Ah. I don't even know if you can still queue up anymore for Bomber Royale with how crazy everything's been going with Trove. Alright. Anyways, let's head over to the club and see. It doesn't look like we have any new XP in for this week. Looks like he's got some cores for sale. And it looks like I am ending the first out of the 3 months in for this semester that's coming up. Alright. Right. So I can tell you guys too, or how my dog's been getting smarter over the years as well. So let's see here. At some point, dogs usually get sneaky, and then they start doing like little bad things here and there behind the owner's back. But it was just like I said yesterday. My dog managed to figure out. He was able to like. So my dog is short, but short enough that he cannot hop onto the counter. Thankfully. And whenever he's here, he always finds a way to sneak into something, to the point where we actually used to have regular locks for the garbage can. Like, not like the one outside, the one inside the house. Yes. So originally it used to just be a swinging door, but it eventually started becoming a big issue because my dog started figuring out how to open the door. And he's like, my dog is starting to become like another level of like smart, but it's only when it comes to stealing or eating food, nothing else. Like, my dog could probably be put in front of the hardest math equation you could ever imagine. He might be able to solve it, but he's not going to do anything to do that. But if you give him a treat at the end, he probably would figure that out, that math problem. And hang on, let me make my way over here real quick. And now that I have, my full vision back in again, I can actually get started on some building. So it's got me thinking though. Hang on. Before I do anything, any building, I gotta cover these walls up. Faux show. Also, if you guys want to try the follower and the subscriber buttons, or if you want me to, let you guys at least hear them once, that's fine with me, because, I spent about an hour just going through the internet to find some sounds that I like, and I'm really happy with them. Except, I guess the only one I'm a bit hesitant for you guys to even hear, which is the subscriber button, at least. Sorry, I think that was a bit loud. I don't know what it's like as well when you guys hear me, sound really loud out of nowhere. So this needs to look this needs to look the same. So we're gonna pick and click and drag the colors over like normal. So we're gonna first make our way over, grab the cube converter, craft up some more colors, and then we're gonna get started. And if there's time, which I seriously doubt, is if there's... Wait, what was it? Where's the cube converter at? It's normally here. Ah, I must have moved it again. Anyways, yeah, if there's time, I'll get started on some of the exterior monsters as well. And let's see if you guys can use some imagination for what this room will look like when it's complete. So it's going to be like this big hallway kind of like area. And there's going to be 2 guards right here when you first make your way in. This obviously will not be here. I can actually get started on breaking some of this, because one side needs it, the other side doesn't. But right here overall doesn't necessarily need it. Or at least we haven't even been able to get started on it yet. Anyways, once you make your way in here, there's going to be, I think, 3 hallways and 2 staircases. So first, right over here will be the first hallway. This one's going to go right to an Ifera room. That'll be right here, and on the exterior it's going to look really cool too, just to make this place not really feel like perfectly symmetrical, because with like a cursed kingdom. Sorry, that was my cat. She gave me a scare. Hang on a second. Let me go grab her. See if she wants to be let in. Alright, so she did want to be let in. Hopefully she does not hop on my lap again. Except I cannot think of any other reason why she would want to be in here, truthfully. It makes sense though. Right. So let's get back to the building aspect as well. Let's get started on some of these gems over here. But, oh, right. So, yes, there will be one hallway here, or that'll be the first hallway entrance. Right on the sides, right here, and right here will be the staircases up to, the 3rd floor when we finally do get an idea of what it's going to look like. And then there's going to be 2 entrances right here and here that are going to be lined up with the 2nd floor for the spiral staircase as well. And of course, don't forget, right over here will be, right where my wand is glowing, will be where the guards are able to climb up here, or get up here. And, yeah, so, let's see. I also, so just like before I was saying, I wrote up some questions that you guys might possibly have for me, and I can definitely answer them as well. And, I'm still, even though I had the opportunity to last night, I really wanted to, oh, that's my cat. Hang on. Oi, I'm streaming here. It's hard to say no to her, and I really don't want to either. But I don't want her to claw up this chair either, you know, it's a good chair. The only downside to this chair, though, is it took me a while to figure out what it was, but there's, like, something that was always, like, stabbing me in the chair when I went to go, you know, sit on my leg, or, like, let's see here. Whenever you're sitting down, I don't really know how to picture it for you guys, but basically, you put your leg under your butt, like, as, like, support when you go to sit down. Or maybe it's just, like, a comfortable way of sitting. Okay, good, she's not still there. But when, you know, when I was going to sit down, there's always something that was, like, you know, irritating me, or, like, that was, like, you know, a little, like, stabby or painful. And it took me a while, but I finally figured out what it was. It's so simple, but I just never knew. And that was, it was like one of those little, thankfully, it wasn't like, it didn't have, like, a pointer on it. Otherwise, I would be done for, and I would have probably been stabbed in the butt. That's a weird way to put it. But it's one of those little screws, and thankfully it wasn't sharp. But it's still facing directly upwards, which probably means it's on the underside of the chair, which is what, of course, supports the whole thing up. And that's probably realistically what was making it so uncomfortable. But now, hang on, where is my... Okay, well, here's one, so I guess I'll just bring it over, I don't know. And... oh, right, I gotta summon in some heroes. Thankfully, I don't have anything that I need to harvest, thankfully. And just as a heads up, the rest of this week is looking a bit iffy on how long I'll be able to stream for. I might be good on Thursday. I definitely have no idea about Saturday. But I think I should be, if I do stream, it would probably have to be Pokemon Go. So there would probably be another long wait period of, you know, waiting in between for me to be able to stream, which stinks. I know, but that's just, you know, that's just how life is. That's why you see a lot of streamers that aren't necessarily able to stream all the time. But the difference between them and me is I have to strategically pick the times when I stream, which stinks because, well, me personally, I love to stream any chance I can. But, you know, there's also, I want to have some me time as well. Except my me time is during this time, which isn't a bad thing. I love doing this as my free time. But, you know, you still need some me time. And I got a lot of stuff to do tonight. I got, like, this word problem I got to double check on. And then I also have, hang on. And then I also have, there it is. I also have my coding to take care of as well. But that isn't a big issue, since thankfully I understand a good chunk of it already. Except it's getting crazier and crazier just trying to understand everything. But I am getting a grasp on it, though. And let's see, what was one of the questions I wanted was told? let's see here. So one rule, it says, what's one rule citizens of Cursed Kingdom must never break? And that is a good question. So there is a couple of rules, but there are mostly only three basic rules. Cursed Kingdom, if you break any of these rules, it is a guaranteed ban. At least two out of the three of them are. One would just demote you immediately. The other two are a guaranteed ban. So the first rule you cannot break of Cursed Kingdom above anything else is you cannot grief the main island, which obviously it's under good protection and, you know, all that jazz. But, yeah, that's probably the number one rule because, you know, we can survive if anything else is lost, or as long as I don't lose the club, as long as I don't, like, lose ownership of the club, or as long as I don't, lose the club altogether, then we're fine. But that is my number one rule, is just don't grief the club, and, you know, I can't lose my ownership. But the second most important rule of Cursed Kingdom would be, let's see. It would be never call out a false code black. And what a code black is in Cursed Kingdom basically signals the rest of the players that a player is about to commit breaking large scale builds, or they're about to attack the club, meaning like a pin bomb, or they could, or what is it? They could just be like, you know, harmful things to say in chat and all that jazz. So that's the second rule you don't want to break. That's almost a guaranteed ban, regardless of what rank you are. And then the third rule you don't want to break is don't steal from the club chest. Now, there are other rules, but those three have the highest guarantee to get banned on sight. Like, I don't even need to speak to you. It could just be almost instantly. Like, it's crazy, but that's just, at least from the experiences that we've had as, you know, a community. That's just the stuff you got to go through. Okay. And there are some other rules, but they're like pretty basic though. It's just like, you know, as long as you have a basic understanding of how you want other people to treat your builds, then just don't make those same mistakes with other people. Meaning, yeah, if you have a world and you want to protect it, then why do the same to other people? Because, you know, blah blah blah. Like, so, you know, just don't be a butthole, other things like that as well. And of course, always be, I guess, mindful of other people. But I sound a bit like a freaking manager just laying out some basic rules for you. But there isn't too much rules in Cursed Kingdom because there usually isn't too much of a crazy stuff going on, thankfully. Alright, let's measure this out real quick. Hang on a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then there's one more. Just gonna double check real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, perfect. And then the Y level for this again was 87 to 93? Is that right? Yep, 87 to 93. Anyways, let's get cracking. So, of course, we got the first layer to take care of as the starter piece. And while I'm here, I think I'll just continue this down here as well. So that way I don't need to keep, let's see. Okay, that was perfect. It didn't mimic the wrong blocks, thankfully. So, yeah, not only am I going to bring this strand of purple from there connected to over here, but I'm just going to continue it the whole way down. Like, look at this. I haven't even finished these walls over here. Or I haven't even, like... Well, I guess I finished it. I just haven't really, like, you know, been over here in a minute. Which just goes to show. And, right. Let me see if there's another question you guys might have for me. It says... So I guess a good question that was asked of me is, who was the first person in charge of Cursed Kingdom? Well, technically, there was 2 people in charge before me. Mostly 1, but technically 2. So, let's see. If we go back to 2019, 2020, the first person in charge of Cursed Kingdom was under the name of Echo That Beast. I have no idea where this man went. Like I said, at the time, he wanted us to join our clubs. We merged them, and then he just disappeared off the face of this earth in like less than 2 weeks. Alright, and this one should be... Oops, wrong color. 94. Oh wow, that's just 1 down. Okay, that's perfect. So then I can just break all these extra blocks right here. And then I'm just going to keep the scaffolding up so that way it makes it a lot easier for me to move things around. It's almost... Think of the scaffolding almost like as well as like cities for Spider-Man to be able to use his web shooters on. Crazy reference, but it's probably the best way to put it because... There we are. Well, because these mimic blocks cannot touch any other colors. Because the glowing blocks can only... These can only mimic... Well, I thought it was only glowing blocks, but these are like more advanced than regular mimic blocks. Actually, wait, why don't I use these? Oh, right. I don't use those all the time. It just made me realize because... hang on 1 second. Alright. So I first gotta lock in and just remind myself how far back this thing goes. So that is the same Y level. So if that's the case, it should look like this? Yeah. Okay, so it looks like we got it going now. So it should be... okay. Did I misplace it? No. No, I didn't. Hang on 1 second. Alright, so... This is a... Yeah, so I'm still getting accustomed to these new Y levels, but I believe I have it now. I think that's it, right? It's 2 boxes sharing the same thing. Yes, I believe I have it. Wait, no. There is a small gap. Would that mean that it would look like this? No, that can't be right. Alright, let's take a quick look here. Hang on 1 second. I'm getting right back to the story. I just gotta measure this out real quick. So we have 3, and then out 2, out 2. So it should be 3, and then out 2, out 2. Okay, but why does this look different? Unless it's just like an illusion. Wait, no. So, purple here, 2 spaces. Purple there. Oh, it is an illusion. Okay. So, I guess the reason why I was getting confused by it was because, well, 1, I'm just not used to it, and 2, I'm just figuring it out. So, I was talking about... Let's see. Oh, right, my dog, on how freakishly smart he's getting as well. Where's my cat? I don't see my cat. She's gonna just sneak up behind me and just spook me when I least expect it. You know, that's just how the cat typically is as well. Right. So the reason why he's getting smarter and smarter is... so like I said, the ledge is like way up here, and he only has enough space to maybe get up about this high. So you might be wondering, how does that cause issues for me? He's got like some sort of scan of the top of the counter for the few times we go to pick him up and hold him in our, like, you know, and carry him around. He probably is like scanning the whole counter and trying to like measure where everything is. Because that dog either knows it through that, or just by sniffing the air, he's able to like tell where all the food is. And then he'll start using his paws on like the top of the counter, kind of like this. And then he'll start trying to, you know, he's like sniffing around for stuff. But I don't know how. He always just, whenever he's bad, he doesn't do anything. But whenever you call him like a good boy, eventually after you're finally like, okay, he's just a dog, they make mistakes. As soon as he's told he's a good boy, he goes right back to doing it. Every time. Which I get both aspects of it as well. But what is it? Something I'm also always told by my dad is, people make mistakes, animals make mistakes, blah blah blah. They learn from them and all that jazz. Well, I don't think my dog has. If that's the case, he's been making the same mistakes for his entire lifespan. So it's like being told not to steal cookies, and then you're like 70 years old still stealing cookies. Well, of course, by that point, you should be able to buy your own, but of course, in this situation, he's just a dog and all that jazz. But it's just, it's crazy. So that's why I have reason to believe my dog has like some superhuman abilities to be able to just detect where food is. Not just with his nose, but just naturally knowing where everything is and scanning the room. And I don't know if I told you, I think I did, but just to clarify, when I got back home, he knew exactly where the rolls were. But the thing I don't understand is, I double checked with my mom too when she got home, she did not put the bread anywhere near the ledge where it was even reachable for him. So that raises two important questions. Number one, how did he even grab the bread? Like, he, like, obviously, even if he knows it's there, how is he able to reach it? Because I at least know like how like the height of my dog and everything, and that there's only enough space for him to be able to just barely stick his the finger, let's see, the claws on his paw are just barely able to reach the counter about knee high. So how did he reach it? Is my dog doing some martial arts training or some FBI agent like workouts when I'm not looking, and then he's just able to like easily tag the food? It's got me thinking like, my dog's some sort of secret ops or something. That has to be a possibility. Okay, and okay, good, that's good. It's still mimicking the right blocks, and then it's just a matter of when. All right, let's break this. I can keep this here for now. Put this over here. But yes, my dog is a good boy. He just, of course, just like all people, we make mistakes. Animals make mistakes. Well, of course, no animal is like, please eat me. None are like that. So, All right, let's see if I could actually tell you guys about my cat as well and my experiences I had with her. So, my cat's name, well, we'll just call her M. And you guys have seen her at least once before on my streams. So, let's see here. In the beginning, when I was just I guess a wee lad, I guess that's a weird way to put it. Anyways, in the beginning, I never really got along with the cat, and I accidentally scared her way too much in the beginning. Because I was, I think about 11 or 12 at the time, and I didn't really, understand cats all that well, so all the time I would accidentally scare her. Let's see. And I'm not even joking. I'd say about 70% of her, no, I'd say 80% of her lifespan, she was always terrified of me because I was always either like making so much noise or just like a subtle movement would scurry her off, reasonably so. And it was like that for quite a while. But eventually, when I figured out like the rhythm and how she works, I learned to stop making all those like crazy noises by accident. And the moment that happened, even when times when I did make noise, she's totally fine with it now, and she's, really attached to me, thankfully. Speaking of her, she's in my room somewhere. I don't know where. She could be in the walls. She could be underneath my chair right now, but I don't know until it's too late. But I know a lot of animal lovers can relate to that as well. Wait, is this too close? Okay, hang on 1 second. So, when I'm over here, I'm able to see... Okay, here's a good way to test it. No, that would be dumb. Let's do it right here. And I can double check right here. So it should be... okay, I think I figured it out. So as long as it's not past the road, it should be fine. Yo, how's it going, Zelon? Thanks for dropping by. Hang on one second. So when my cat started gaining my trust as well, I think she like found like the cheat code to me and started abusing it, but in like the best way possible. So my cat knows if she ever like enters my room and hangs out with me, I like to give her a treat. And then she started figuring out like that cheat system, and then she started coming in my room all the time. But the moment I had to stop was when I saw her come into my room. She got a treat. She left 2 minutes later and then came right back in. And well, I also think that's how she started to open up to me as well, to start getting comfortable with me, like just, you know, a cat hanging out and all that jazz. All right, hang on one second. So these are perfectly lined up. Excellent. Okay, I didn't really account for that, but I'm glad it just somehow accidentally worked out. So now that we have these colors, I'm gonna restore these real quick. And oh, and in case you missed it, Zelon, I figured out a way to be able to chat with you guys more often by, you know, creating some questions. But look how badly my printer printed these out. This is like borderline unreadable. Unless I like zoom it all the way in. Anyways, I made these questions for me to be able to read out loud for you guys. So that way I, of course, have more things to talk about. But yeah, I love my cat, but she's a hunter, and that means it's like positive. It brings some positives and it brings some negatives. For me, more positives. For my mom, more negatives for sure. But basically, thankfully, since nobody will know who I am, or hopefully doesn't, I'm gonna keep working on separating some more stuff so that way my Twitch life doesn't interfere with my personal life. Anyways, so whenever let's see. So you know how hunter cats work. They go outside for long quantities of time, and then of course they'll occasionally bring you like a wonderful gift. But you know how those can sometimes be the worst thing possible for everybody else in the house. But basically, I mean, I'm not sharing my mom's secrets because thankfully nobody knows who she is. But anyways, my mom is terrified of mice. Like about as badly as I hate spiders. Anyways, my cat will quite often bring home gifts for my mom, which are dead rodents. And then she has to summon usually me or my brother to go clean up, you know, the rodents to be taken care of. In the beginning, they freaked me out badly, but I started getting used to it because that's just how she is. But, let's see here. My cat has brought home small mice, huge mice, rats. Sorry, I don't want to freak anybody out, but I guess just a heads up. I guess it's like too late for the heads up, but anyways. My cat has brought home bunnies. She almost got hold of a fox, but I had to tell her, I had to like clap my hands out in the yard because I saw her trying to drag the fox over. It was like a teeny tiny fox. I didn't know what that fox had, so I separated them and I brought my cat to the vet to double check she didn't have rabies. Thankfully she didn't. And she also brings home a lot of moles as well. You know, like the ones that can't see, of course, and they're always in the dark. But that of course is in her nature. That's what it means to, I guess, be a hunter cat, which is great because it at least reduces the chances of getting pests inside the house 10 times more. So I would rather have her be hunting around and bringing in animals, dead ones, than me finding them, chewing a hole through my wall, living in my walls, and then possibly, I don't know, attacking me in the middle of the night because, well, you guys, you know how rodents and animals are unpredictable. So that's like the best plus about having the cat. And, you know, she's wonderful too. Let's see. I do have a video of her from quite a while ago, but it almost looks identical to her today. Almost no differences, which is crazy. My cat takes care of herself excellently, and she actually, even though she is, I guess, a house cat, she doesn't really need our help because, well, she's just got that natural instinct to be able to take care of herself. You know, that's wonderful too. But life got a lot easier taking care of the cat because for Christmas, excuse me, I purchased my mom like a super expensive cat box. So it's so cool too. It was like $130, but basically you have to just get your cat accustomed to pooping in this machine. And when the cat poops into it, the sand starts to begin to shift, almost like, almost as if like a giant, I guess, creature's gonna attack you, kind of shifting, like rumbling. Yeah, that's a good way to put it, rumbling. And then whenever the cat peed or pooed after she left, thankfully, it'll start to shift the poo down into like the special compartment where the sand doesn't cave in from above, and all you have to do is open up the tray where all the poop is already in a bag, just take it out, throw it away, and you're good. That's all there is to it. And it saved bending your back down, scooping up the poop. So it made life so much better. I didn't care how expensive it was either. Now that I'm officially, you know, able to take care of myself and I am able to start paying for things, I made it, like, I guess, a mission. I'm definitely I'm happy with this decision I made, but I make it my goal for whenever somebody's birthday party comes up, and whenever, of course, maybe holidays come around, I always make sure to try to go out of my way to get the best gifts possible for everybody. And it's wonderful too because, well, I rarely spend my money on anything, so it's like an absolute win. All right, there we are. I finally got that color in. Jeez. And, well, let's see here. Yeah, and I thought that was the perfect gift because myself included, even though I, by the way, for anyone who's forgotten about this, always whenever you're bending down, bend with your knees, not your back. Your back is supposed to support you, but your knees are designed to be able to hold your weight up. So yeah, just always do a squat because it's going to hurt a lot more if you start having back problems than it will if, you know, than it will just carrying things normally because, yeah, that's just, I guess, basic human anatomy, but it's just a good reminder as well. It's just like myself where I have a lot of important information and I always forget it. That's why I typically, well, I guess write it down so that way I know to have it later on or on standby. Hang on 1 second. I'll be able to continue the story as well about, I guess, my cat and my dog. I just got to get these last little bits in. All right. Now that I'm over here. Okay, hang on. Oh my God, switch to purple. Please. Finally. All right. Now I can continue on with the third layer. Carefully. All right, so I could also tell you guys, I guess, the characteristics of my animals as well and how they typically act even when they're not being naughty. So, well, I think I already told you guys mostly about my cat. She's typically a hunter. She's pretty independent, except, of course, my favorite times with her is when she wants to be petted or just, you know, hang out with me as well. You said 31 and 4RY asked, what are you building there? Ah, I'm glad you asked. So I have told this story several times before, but to make it a long story short, I am building some cursed gems for this place to keep invaders out. These cursed gems remove all subclass abilities, and then they start draining your health and HP the longer you're inside the barrier. And I'm making a barrier big enough to cover this whole island as well. But let's see here. So, my cat, for the most part, of course, I already said she's independent. She is playful, very playful too. Especially whenever I get those opportunities to see her. That's why I know you guys don't see it whenever, but it's whenever I'm off camera, I'm always playing with her or the dog. My dog doesn't typically play, so I have to get creative with trying to hang out with my dog. And the best solution I came up with, hang on, let me double check this. All right, those are the same colors. Oh shoot! Oh my! You just gave me a
3 and 4 I just followed.
you just gave me a heart attack. Oh my! Uh, I completely forgot I changed that, and it just took me so by surprise. Oh my gosh! All right, but yeah, my cat for the most part is one of those silent cats, but she's an absolute sweetheart when you get to know her. The one thing I will say, no, you're all good, man. You're definitely all fine. You didn't know, I completely forgot, and I really appreciate the follow as well. Thank you. You officially made it one step closer, so hang on a second. You got us one step closer for me to be able to add googly eyes to this cube as well. And you're also supporting our chances of us being a possible well-known, I guess, content creator for Trove. Because, well, playing the game normally is alright, but it's repetitive. But if you're building, all your imagination is just way out there. And let me go back to my cat as well. Yeah, so she's an absolute sweetheart when you get to know her. But one thing is for sure. When you're playing with her, I want you to treat the cat like a grizzly bear. And you might be going, what? A grizzly bear? What the heck are you talking about? And I'm not talking about like how strong they are. I want you to think about those gnarly, like half an inch long daggers that they have. Because when my cat's playing with you, she, of course, just like most cats, she'll bait you into thinking she wants to be pet on the belly. Do not pet her on the belly. Just like a lion, they will mess you up royally. And let's see, my dog for the most part is he's pretty chill. It says you're a content creator for Trove. Not yet, but I'm trying to be. That's what I'm really hoping for as like an end game goal. I will also want to be a content creator, not to just be one, but I'm also hoping to almost be like a speaker for you guys. So if there's any actual good ideas we could put in the Trove, I could be your microphone, because I feel like whenever you're on Discord and you're uploading like dozens of great ideas and none of them go through, I want to be your alternative option to see if we can reach the developers as an alternative solution to improving the game. But every single content creator keeps saying, we will wait for the next update if you can patch and fix everything currently wrong in the game. My vote included as well. It is currently, as far as I know, Caching Clean, Sayushi, myself, and I can think of at least 3 other people, but I can't think of their content names right off the top of my head. But right now, yeah, this game just needs to be fixed more than it needs a better update. And I don't get it too. So hang on, let me go back to talking about my dogs and cat as well. So my dog is usually very chill as well. You said, I think we need a higher moon soul rate. That I can agree with. I think you're probably talking about lunar souls, but I got what you're saying. Oh my god, I've been playing this game for too long. I even understood the reference. But anyways, so my dog for the most part, he usually sleeps pretty often. But my dog's, well, I'm sure you could tell, but his favorite thing is food. But it's at the point where he doesn't like to play normally. Most of the time he only gets up to play when he wants food, which is also a bit sad too, because it just probably means he hasn't had like enough time with other dogs, if that makes sense, to really like, I guess, remember to know how to play and act like a dog, if that makes sense. But at the same time, he's also getting pretty old. Not to scare anyone, but he is starting to get those the foggy eyes. If you know what foggy eyes are, it's when your dog is starting to reach, not that, it's just about outside of the elderly age for animals. But not to worry, he's still got at least another 5 to 4 years. at least for typically for how long dogs live. So he's doing pretty well. He's gonna be up there for a pretty long time. Charlie. Oh, great. Well, I just gave his name away, but anyways, just pretend you didn't hear that. Anyways, yeah, he's a very wonderful dog too. He not to put the pin on him, but I guess he's a bit of a needy kind of dog, but I also understand as well. You said you stream on 2 sites? Well, actually, no. I would, but I haven't figured out how to do that, and I also am afraid to do that because I don't, it seems like a lot of work. I'm hoping to stream on YouTube one day as well as Twitch at the same time, but I would need like 2 chat boxes to look at, and I think I would easily get overwhelmed from both of them, and I wouldn't know what to do. Well, I guess a little overwhelmed. But I don't typically get overwhelmed very often. But yeah, both of my animals are absolute sweethearts. And my dog doesn't come into my room as often as my cat does for attention. He said, my friend knows this. He can help you. Oh, that's great, man. I'd probably have to figure out another time to do that. If you want to be able to contact with me further, just join us on the Discord. And anything you put there, I usually read for the most part because even if I'm like super busy and like, working on a ton of stuff, if you ever hit me up on Discord, for right now, for probably a good while, I'll still be able to respond to it for the most part. And let's see. Oh, I had to get really crafty as well for my dog whenever it came to hanging out or playing with him, which was, so my dog only plays when there's food in the room or very rarely with a normal toy. Anyways, so I came up with this genius solution where I don't have it with me, but basically there's this little ball we were given a while ago. Actually, let me see if I can find it. Oh wait, it's right here. Alright, so take a look at this. This has probably been the best way I've been able to play with my dog. But this isn't used how you would think it is. So he doesn't like chase after something. I don't think he really knows too well how to like fetch or return anything. We never really taught him because, well, we never, I guess, really taught him. But anyways, this is how I was able to start being able to play with him. And what I did was, you see how there's like little holes in here? Not very much space to get through, but there is enough space to put something in here. So it took a while, but I took the bell out without breaking the plastic. And whenever I want to, I guess, play with them, the best thing I can do is just put a little treat in this. And let's see if I can show you what the treats look like as well. So this is typically what his treats look like. It's a big stick, but it also means it's going to be really hard for it to fall out of this. So if you just put this in the toy, then if you can see it inside of it, it's going to be really hard for him to get out, which is what makes it such a great thing for him. Sorry. That's what makes it such a great way for him to be preoccupied as well. And it's also, it makes me happy seeing him being able to play with it too, because, well, he's going to town on that thing whenever he gets it, whenever I put a treat in there. But he started figuring it out too as well. If you're curious, hang on, where did I just put it? I don't know where it is. Okay, well, do you guys know where I put it? Did I just drop it? Oh wait, here it is. So whenever he started figuring out like methods to this as well. Like that's how smart my dog is. He is on a genius tier. Like both my cat and dog are very smart, but my dog, well, I guess in their own unique ways, are both like super smart, even compared to other animals. So he started figuring out if he presses down on this enough times, and if the treat lines up, it'll actually shoot through one of the holes. And that's how my dog started figuring out like a method to getting these treats out of it like super quickly. as well. And of course, as you already know, my cat is super smart because she's able to what is it? Hunt down a lot of smaller rodents, and of course bring them over as like gifts for me and my mom. All right, hang on just a second. So, when we take a look at you said, sorry, my English is bad. I speak not good English. It's hard for me to understand. Oh, no worries, man. You can practice, I guess, learning English here if you want to. Uh, yeah, because I am still learning Spanish, except truthfully, I forgot to continue doing it. And I'm more focused on my coding right now because Spanish is great, but my coding will definitely get me places as well. Well, I think both will. And don't forget as well, I'm still trying to add those physics, so whenever somebody subscribes or follows, there will be like a little notification that appears on the screen, and then it can like stay on the screen. It's hard to describe, but if you were there for it yesterday, when I had it on display, then it should still be nice and visible. I can also tell you guys about some of the worst experiences I had with my cat and my dog as well. So I think the first, well, they're not the worst experiences, but at least I'm sure to other people, but you know how animals like to misbehave and all that jazz. You said, yeah, okay, I'm from Journey. You learned coding? Oh, heck yeah. Right now I have figured out what's it called? Java for the most part. I am just barely, literally like probably like even 15 minutes in for C++, but I have a general idea of everything. And I think it was Uniscript as well. And there was like one tier below Java, but I can't remember it. But yeah, I'm trying to learn all fields of it so that way I can have more job opportunities as well. The one thing is for sure is coding is not easy. It's like trying to learn Egyptian, which obviously makes no sense because, well, that's just coding for you. It makes no sense. Oh shoot, okay. I think I added too much to this. But let's see. So I guess the worst experience I ever had with my dog was so one day, one of us left the trash can out. But what he did with it is what made it, I guess, I don't know if it's the worst day, but it's at least the one I can think of off the top of my head. So what he did is the dog grabbed the trash and he knocked it to the floor. And this was before we started adding literal children baby locks to the doors. Because that's how smart he's gotten now. He's able to, here, I'll get to that in just a second. But he knocked the trash can over. And what he likes to do is just like other dogs, is whenever he gets trash or food, I meant to say, he usually brings it over to a spot where he'll go to eat it. And of course, even though it was the trash and he wasn't supposed to eat it, hang on a second. Okay, we're doing good. So what he would do is, wait, that's the wrong color. Yeah, he'll start dragging the trash can throughout the entire house. So that basically meant when I got home, there was so much trash everywhere. I at first thought we actually just got robbed. That's how bad it was. Like I actually genuinely thought we just got robbed because there was just trash everywhere. There was pillows everywhere. It looked like that scene from The Simpsons when Homer was going to town on that food he was like sneaking out with eating, cheating on his diet. If you remember that, he was like rolling all over the place, like making a huge mess, and they had to cut off the cameras because it was like so gross and it was funny. It felt like that, like there was just trash on the couch, the floors, the stairs, my room, everywhere. My dog managed to raid 3 different trash cans in a single day, but he also dragged them throughout the whole house, and it ended up taking, I think, 2.5 to 3 hours to clean it up. It took about 45 minutes to pick up the trash, and then the rest was just using those cleaning solutions for whenever the stuff gets stuck in like whenever garbage gets no, whenever there's stains in the carpet as well. But I'm sure you guys know what that's like. You said I'm coding too for 1 year for Grand Theft Auto server. Yo, that's sick, dude. Yo, do you got any leaks about GTA 6? If you do, yo, just drop it real quick. I would love to hear some updates about GTA 6. You know? Of course, I say that jokingly because there's no way I would get an update on it. Let's see. I also want to, like, I think one thing a lot of fans from GTA also want to know about is, like, just where's the game at? Like, they've been hyping it up and then delaying it for so long. Does that mean, like, they're constantly, like, updating it? And by the time they're ready to release it, more updates are needed for the game for, like, other aspects because they're outdated or something? It's got me, like, thinking, like, that is a possibility as well. Alright, real quick, I'm gonna finish up this gem, and then I'll get back to talking about the dogs as well, my dogs and cats. Okay, let's take care of this. We're taking care of the second layer of the cursed gem, or the bottom half, which is 10 times easier than the top half. Because, you know, we don't have to mimic the whole thing. It takes so long. It takes so long. Alright. And you said, okay, bro, I need a break. I need food right now. Oh, you're all good, man. No worries. I'm just happy to be able to chat with you guys because, well, you know, I love talking with people too. I am, what is it? I'm an introvert and an extrovert. Well, I'm not really one or the other either. Because, if I had to, like, lean to one or the other, I guess slightly more introverted, but I am definitely extroverted. So, like, 60% introverted, 40% extroverted. It's pretty thin on the line. And I just love to have new people to talk to as well. And, right. So, but you should have seen the look on my face when I got back home. And it looked like the freaking dumpster just unloaded garbage to our house. I'd say like a thin layer though, not like full on garbage bags everywhere. But it was insane. I was, of course, infuriated just like anybody else would be. But I was too angry with my dog, so all I did was put him in the bathroom. And I told him he was a bad boy. And I eventually, of course, told him he was a good boy again. But that was like 3 or 4 days later when I was finally able to get you know, all that anger out after I was done cleaning up the garbage for, like I said, 3 hours. And I guess the worst day with my cat was so this was at the time where she was starting to still open up to me and, like, you know, learning to you know, be around me more often. But it wasn't necessarily her fault that made it the worst day possible. But the outcome of it was like crazy, dude. So, hang on one second, wrong colors. So basically, my cat managed to score some more quote unquote food for everybody to eat as like a wonderful gift. That's her way of saying thank you. But what she did was she caught a bunny. And heads up, by the way, this is going to be a bit of a gory story. You have been warned, okay? Gory story. Anyways, so like a cat naturally is, she brought home a bunny, and I didn't know about it until my mom started screaming for me to, you know, clear out the bunny. And this messed me up as well. In the end, this messed me up. So basically, there's a bunny on the porch and it already looked dead. And I'm like, I really don't want to do this, but, you know, the bunny's already gone. I don't think he knows that I'm streaming right now. I'll let him know right afterwards, because, you know. But anyways, so the bunny was just a huge mess everywhere. And on the porch, it looked like a murder scene. And my cat was just cleaning her claws like she normally does. And I'm just like, oh no. And when I went to go pick up the bunny, This messed me up. And like I said, heads up, this is gory. Anyways, when I went to go pick up the bunny, it was facing. So if I'm looking this way, right at you guys, the bunny was facing this way. So it means its back was turned to me, and basically its head was like in the opposite direction. Anyways, I went to go clean it up, and the whole thing fell apart in like 3 places right in front of me. And then I started freaking out because there was just like, it was just a mess. Its organs were everywhere. It was getting bad, dude. It was getting too much for me. But this is where things started getting worse as well. And this is, I guess, a tag team of both my cat and my dog, which was, it was like stuck to the ground because all the blood was drying up. And then my dog saw the whole thing and he was like, oh, free food. And then my dog started charging and I didn't even have time to turn around. He bolted outside. Oh, I hate this. He bolted outside, snagged up a chunk of the bunny, and started running inside. And then my mom went into full panic mode because the dog's running around with like a chunk of a bunny towards her. She's running, the dog's running, and then I'm starting to get a little overwhelmed as well because I'm still trying to be able to just handle cleaning up the other parts. So what I quickly did was I scooped up the parts just like this. I didn't want to be anywhere near it. And then I was so desperate to get rid of it. I just flung, oh, I hate this. I flung the parts of it, the 2/3 of it, off the porch. And my cat was watching like, ooh, ah, as the organs were like flying into the backyard. This, like I said, I was just trying to settle down the whole situation. And then I had to bolt inside and stop my dog from eating a chunk of the bunny. And I hate this part, but this is what happened. This is what happened. So I eventually got my dog to stop chasing my mom with the bits of the bunny, and he wasn't letting go of it. And you know how dogs are when if they have something in their mouth and you try to pull it out, they're going to try to bite you. At least I know that's how my dog usually acts. And he started growling when I got too close. So what I had to do, and I really hate this, but this is what I had to do. So I knew he was either going to swallow that bunny and gain some sort of unknown infection, or I didn't want that on my mind, or he was going to make a mess dragging that bunny throughout the whole house, and I would not be able to do that. So what I had to do was swat at him with like a broom, almost like I guess a person like a zombie apocalypse swatting something. I was like frantically swatting the broom at him for him to drop it, and it was just getting hectic too, because my mom was terrified. I was probably at my last patience with this, and my dog was trying to scarf that thing down as fast as he could. He was just trying to find a place to go and do it, and I swatted the bunny away from him, and then I took the broom. And then I almost used my dog as like an actual puck, like, you know, in hockey. And then I just made him slide across the floor. And then I had to dive for the corpse before he turned back around and tried to snag it up again. So while my dog was still sliding across the floor, trying to rebound himself and charge back over, it felt like a game of tag, and I like scooped up the bunny using the like the other end of the thing that sweeps it up with. I just barely scurried it up and then just tossed it in the backyard. Oh, I hate that story, but that was at least my worst experience with my cat because she was the thing that caused that whole thing to just spiral out of control. And let's see. So the aftermath was everything eventually calmed down. My dog was put in timeout corner. My cat was let off the hook because she thought she was just being, she thought that's what we like. She thought it was like a gift for us, so I can't be mad at her for that. And let's see. And fun fact. I eventually found the rest of the parts in the yard and just cleaned them up using the special scooper that we have, so that way I don't have to pick up with it at all. That thing was such a blessing, by the way. But I didn't there was probably a few organs in the yard, because later on I saw him scurrying around the yard eating something, and I was just so messed up from the night before. I was just like, I can't do this. So he probably just ate like an organ or two, which is disgusting. At least to me, it's disgusting. I know that's the way they are, but I don't want to have that on my conscience, knowing whenever my dog wants to give me kisses, I have to think about how the same thing he wants to kiss me with is the same thing he cleans his junk with and eats everything with. So I wasn't able to get any kisses from him for at least 2 weeks after that instance. But I know after that whole story, you can't really say they're sweethearts, but they are. They're just doing what they do, what they naturally do. So moral of the story is, if your cat brings home something, don't let your dog get near it. Just put your dog in a room where he cannot snag whatever that thing is, clean it up, and safely put it away, and don't throw it into the yard, because I was like in such a panic just to get everything cleaned up. That's what I had to do. But yeah, let's see. Oh wait, I forgot to tell you guys, there was another animal related story that happened to me. I think it was 3 weeks ago, but I remember it like it was yesterday. Hang on, let me double check these colors real quick. So that's finished. I got 4 colors right here. Okay. So basically, I got myself my mom got this 1 or 2 years ago. It was a bird feeder. And in the end, basically, the bird feeder became more for something for like myself than it did for my mom. And it's great, you can put bird seeds in it, and then you can watch the birds go to get the seeds. But I always have to make sure whenever I put the seeds in there, I do not let my hunter cat out. Otherwise, she will probably start going nuts on those birds, and I don't want to think about the possibility of a story like that happening again, where I was practically playing hockey with my dog, trying to swipe, organs away from him eating them. Right. So basically, we also have squirrels, and you know how squirrels and birds usually eat the same thing, which is of course seeds. But it was like one of those iconic videos, but I never got to record it. So we had this bird seed thing way up there, and there's no way for my dog or cat to be able to thankfully snag any of the birds once it gets up there. But these squirrels still find a way to climb up it, and it was pretty funny too. Whoops, hang on, I didn't mean to break that. Will this reach? Oh my god, how does that not reach? Anyways, so let's see. So picture this: you're just coming home after a nice long day of work. It's about 3 p.m. in the afternoon. I probably got up at around 7 to do so. And you just finished parking the car. You're about to lie down. You go sit at your table to find something to snack on. And I was trying to find something to watch on YouTube like I normally do. But what I saw out the window made me forget all about YouTube. So when I'm about mid-bite into it was some cereal or it was some Cheez-Its. It was one of the two. I look out the window, and there was a squirrel dangling by one claw, facing upside down, looking right back at me. And I got freaked out because, what was it? I don't know why the squirrel was looking right at me. And I realized it wasn't looking right at me, but rather it was dangling from the bird feeder by a single back foot. It wasn't caught, thankfully, but it managed to pull itself back up, and oh man, it was just weird because, normally when you look out the window, you don't expect something to be looking right back at you. Anyways, the moment the seed started dropping to the floor, I went to go take a closer look, and my dog naturally knows whenever I get close to the window, that usually means that there's something out there. And so he went up to the window as well. But you know how dogs are whenever they see squirrels. He was like, "Who is that? Who is that? Who is that in my front porch?" And then of course he started going nuts, barking at the window. But it was funny because the moment he started barking, he started scratching at the door trying to be let out. But that was enough to scare the squirrel. Thankfully, it landed fine because I saw it scurrying off. But when the squirrel got startled by my dog, it fell from the bird seeder. It was not one of those flying squirrels, but thankfully it landed safely in the grass and just took off. But man, that was like, you're not really expecting that when you just got back from work. And let's see. Well, I guess that's most of my animal stories. I do have a whole bunch more, but those are probably at least the most exciting ones. Let me see if I can answer another question for you guys, which is, let's see. Let me see if I can find another story for you guys. Well, these aren't stories, these are more like things I can answer. Hang on, let me find like a light source. Alright, it says, what was the most broken build you've ever made in any game? So, let's see. So, there was another blocky game I played a long time ago that I was absolutely goated at. I don't know if anybody remembers this from well, I don't think anybody would. I don't even remember how many years ago it was. It has to have been more like 7 or 8 years ago. But basically, there was this blocky game that came out. It was super simple, but it was super addictive as well for one reason only. But basically, whenever you first started out, you were given like a card made out of blocks. And it's pretty similar to, I guess, Trove as well when you're thinking of like a blocky game. And what the card does, it's like some sort of spaceship where it flies down this track and you're able to collect power-ups as you play through the game. And you're able to make your card stronger as well if you collect enough coins and just progress. I maxed out that whole game, by the way, as a heads up. But basically, what made me so good at the game was with no references. You said, is it Pixel Gun 3D? No, but I have played that game and I am a champion at that game. I even won a tournament. Hang on, give me a hot second. Sorry, I got an incredible itch. Yeah, let me find you guys. Let me show you what I mean by I used to be an all-time pro at Pixel Gun 3D. That's not Pixel Gun 3D, but let me show you what I'm talking about. Give me a second. Take a look at this. Hang on a second. This is what I mean by I was a champion at Pixel Gun 3D. Look at that. That was the highest rank possible. I don't know if there's like a new one or something. I don't know what the game's been up to since I last played on it. But hopefully that shows you. At one point in my life, I guess, quote unquote, king of the world, and I made the best progress on Pixel Gun 3D. Let's see. But I think I'll tell you guys about that car game real quick. About how I made myself overpowered. I think I have on a lot of games like Pixel Gun 3D, Pokemon Go. That's usually how it is for me. I never really thought about it till this point, but yeah, I usually go all out and I make some of the best strategies possible in the game. Hang on one hot second. Let me take care of this. Oh my god, it's getting hot in my room. Oh, better take this thing off. Oh, no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm not doing. Anyways, so in this blocky game, you're like a flying car, and you have to fight off these police officer blocky cars, and you would of course keep getting upgrades and make yourself more progress as well. I probably had at least 60 to over 170 hours in that game overall, despite it being so simplistic, where all you do is, you fight other cars and vehicles, and then you customize your own car, and then you can make it as indestructible as you want. But here, I'll see if I can shape out a design of it real quick for you guys. Hang on a second. Uh, so it typically looked, no, it typically looked kind of like this. Hang on a second. All right, I got the design. So my flying car at first was pretty crappy, but I eventually kept getting better and better with like adding like more and more lasers, boosters to make your car go faster. And my car eventually took the shape of this, right there. And no, it's not a penis. No, that. Anyways, think of a all. It was covered in like 3 special layers, but I gave it some special power-ups that made it absolutely indestructible in this car game. It didn't matter how many miles or quote unquote miles I went. This car was a absolute tank. So what made it so powerful was I even remember it too. So basically on these 2 sides right here, you would be able to shoot heat-seeking missiles, lasers, and then the spot in the back right here I remember had some sort of boosters and it had like coin magnets, all that jazz. But it was so powerful and so effective in that game. I actually got bored of waiting for me to hit the finish line. Like I'm talking, I don't think I have some sort of record in that game. I had some big record, but I don't think it was like a world record. Anyways, yeah, so the reason why it was so powerful at taking that shape was all the blasters and missiles and everything were behind 2 layers of protection, which is why it took that shape. And why it also took that shape was if one of like the missile launchers or one of the side pieces of it broke off, it could just switch directions and still be able to shoot forward. It would have like auto adjusting what is it? Boosters as well. So that way it could stay balanced and keep being able to progress. But yeah, I became way too powerful. I got bored of it. It's basically a king once he has everything, and then I eventually hit max upgrades, and after that, I didn't really know what else to do. So I just moved on, but yeah, that happens a lot of times in my games actually. Let me see if I can load up my Pixelgun 3D account as well. I don't think I still have much to show. This was the tournament as well when it ended. I can't believe I still have a screenshot of it. Let's see if this... I don't know if that looks impressive or not, but that was the same way I won the championship. That Japan or whoever was the player in second place, by the way, that was my username at the time. That guy was a freaking bum. We were going ham and ham, back and forth, trying to keep our title as #1. Dude, I spent so many hours, like, in that short period of time just to be able to keep my #1 title. And I just barely won. But it was, the tournament for #1 usually lasts for about 3 to 4 days. So you can imagine almost every single day for that time, it was just strictly playing that game the whole time. Not even like doing like other little things on the side. Because of course the only way to progress is by eliminating players, and you know how good you have to be to literally hit #1 for about 3 or 4 days. But dude, it was just it was neck and neck the entire time trying to hit that champion rank. If you guys want to see me, I could pull up Pixelgun 3D. If you've seen some of my older clips, you definitely know I've played this game. That I've been playing that game for a little while. I haven't touched that game in forever though. Once I eventually got everything in the game, there was nothing really left for me there was nothing left for me to get in Pixelgun 3D. That's actually what I do with a lot of games. I usually do so well. I have nothing left to grind for except for like the hardest bits of the game, and then I'll just move on to another one. And that's how it's been for quite a while actually. I never really thought about it, but yeah, it's been like that for forever, as long as I can remember. I think let's see how that's looking. That's looking pretty good. Once I get done this other wall as well, oh, right. Don't forget, in case anybody missed it as well, I will be live maybe Thursday. Friday, no. Fridays are the worst day of the whole week for me to be able to stream, so never expect me to be on Fridays. But Thursdays are possible. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays are possible, and Saturdays are. But Sundays are probably the most time to say no, and then Fridays are the most likely chances you will not see me on that day, which is Friday. And I'm also sorry as well, I don't really have a schedule. It's like I said, whenever I find free time to be able to, hang out with you guys, I find it. So I'm also sorry I don't really ever announce it. I mean, I do on the Discord, but I don't really know how to do it too well on Twitch. But I've actually been a blocky game, kind of guy for quite a while, actually. I've played, like, if you can think of a blocky game that probably did somewhat popular, or at least was at least free, then I most likely have been playing it or have played it. Heck, I even played Minecraft when it was free on the tablet, but I'm sure a lot of people did as well. I even, by the way, I remember my very first time playing Minecraft as well. You said GD? I'm not sure what GD means. But I don't know if you guys remember your first time playing Minecraft, but I actually do. So I don't remember what it actually looked like, but I just remember what was happening too. So the very first time was on the Kindle. It was free. I don't remember which update it was, but at least know that there was I think gravel was in the game, and I believe Geometry Dash. Yes, I played that. I even have my own level still too, but I haven't played that game in way longer than any other game I've told you about. I played Geometry Dash, I think, way before Minecraft as well. I don't remember what Geometry Dash, I don't remember how long ago I played it. That has to have been at least more than 9, maybe even 10 years ago. Like, that was one of the first games I actually got invested in. It was Pixel Gun 3D, and it was Geometry Dash, were the first blocky games I ever played. Oh my goodness, and I was good at them too. Not the best, but I was decent. Usually. That's usually how I am in most games. I'm pretty decent. Except for combat games. I get really good at them, but I usually need practice. I don't have that natural skill. Oh shoot, it's Tortoise. Glad to see him over here as well. He seems to be doing well. Alright, now, if you want me to, if I can, at some point, I could probably log on to my old Geometry Dash account and try to remember what everything was as well. And, hang on one second. I gotta lock in and just get these builds out of the way. Oh god, that was the wrong way. I heard it. You saw the particles. I saw the block placement. That was not supposed to happen. I think I played up to the point until the robot was first introduced. It was like that little spider with 4 legs. I played until that point. But when I first played I played until about, I don't know if you guys remember those little jaws that open and close. They're very basic. I played until those were about introduced, and then I took a break, and then I started playing when the robot was first introduced into Geometry Dash. Oh my god, I'm just getting a wave of emotional nostalgia just thinking about that. Oh, that takes me back to my times. And it's also got me thinking about Pixel Gun 3D too. Like the first time I played it, no pets were introduced. I still remember too. It was like that cosmic cannon or whatever. That black hole creator was like the most powerful gun at the time, and the prototype was the most powerful gun in Pixel Gun 3D. He said, "If you do, can you try out my level? It's in beta mode right now, but there are 2 new ports now." Oh, that's cool, man. I don't know when I would have to do that. I'm so sorry, but realistically, it probably wouldn't even be possible till the summer, because I'm just barely finding any time to be able to stream Trove already. Like this is my free time as well. So that really means I won't be able to sit down and like relax for like an hour or two before I get started on homework. It'll just mean as soon as I'm done this, it'll be right to homework. But you know, that's for a lot of people. Uh so let's see. I still remember my old loadout. Let me see if I can update my. Oh wait. Okay, not sure what this is. I'll figure this out later. I have something else to take care of, and it looks very time consuming, and that's what I don't have. Uh, Gotta love life sometimes, man. Life. Remember this, by the way. Remember what one random streamer one point said to you. Life is like a brick. Well, a lot of bricks, and they're just gonna keep getting thrown at you. And then all that life does is just test how many bricks you can take getting thrown at you. That's that's the beauty of life right there in probably one single phrase. Just see how many bricks you can handle. Or just like dodgeball. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. Oh my god, now I gotta watch dodgeball. It's got me thinking about it too. And let me see if there's another question I could possibly answer for you guys as well. It says, what's a grind you actually enjoy about Trove? So, there is a lot of things I enjoy about Trove. There's the building. Wait, did he talk to me? Oh, wait, okay, no. There is grinding the dungeons, all that jazz. I think my favorite aspect of Trove, this feels a bit basic, but it might just be... No. My favorite aspect of just not this, but any game, is when you first play it. Like, it doesn't even have to be your very first day. Your very first week of playing a brand new game is always the best experience ever. Because, what is it? Well, there's just so much to see, so much to explore, and it's just like, you know, it's a brand new day, you know? That's the best way to put it, too. So, you can also imagine that's how it is. That's why I always get so invested as well. I also can't believe it too, but I have been playing blocky games my whole life. But, let's see. I gotta say, Trove is definitely one of my all-time favorites. Except for recently, with all their, like, strange updates to the game that haven't really been helping the performance of the game. Nor has it been making the players happy. But I still love Trove from 2020. You know, if I started Trove in this day and age, and I didn't have somebody like Chungus to help introduce me to the game, I probably won't even play it that long. Hang on a second, by the way. Let me see if... There it is. I found it. It is the cube. Oh, yeah. Don't forget, if we can hit 150 followers, I will add googly eyes to it. And I will also sneak on some googly eyes into my college as well, and I'll take a photo of it. There are these two trash cans that I walk by whenever I'm in between classes all the time. And every single time I look at those trash cans, they always have the shape of like a smiley face. And then every time I walk by it, it just itches in my head. It's like, put googly eyes on these trash cans now. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Well, of course, once I hit 150, I'll probably just do it in between classes when nobody's looking. I'll probably just tape them on because I don't want to get in trouble if I glue them on. And hopefully if enough people like them, they can just be like an official thing for the trash cans. I think I'll put the cube right over here. And I'm so sorry, but I will only be live for about another 20 minutes today because, well, I got some coding. Like I said, I got some math to do, studying to do. Then I gotta double check on some extra stuff as well. Let me double check a few more things. Hang on 1 second. And then I think I'll also answer some other questions as well. But yeah, just being able to explore a new place, by the way, this, by the way, is a natural known thing. This is why games always get you to start playing them and get invested in them. Um, that's why a lot of games usually have a lot of stuff for you to be able to do when you first load in. That's why you're able to collect so many like new items when you first start out. It's because it gives you a rush of excitement. And this is like a psychological thing as well. But the reason why it's also always like that when you first start out, there's like a ton of things you unlock and collect and like just be able to progress through. That's because basically this also applies to like the natural human as well, or sorry, natural person as well. You got me. I'm talking like an alien right now. But when you're younger, it always feels like the days were so much, I guess, more exciting. But that's because when you were younger, your brain had a lot more ways to be able to see new things, try new things, and it always felt like there was something new to explore. But of course, as you get older, there's less and less things to explore or discover about you, or like what's there to do in life. But whenever you play something like a new game, or there's like a new mechanic in the game, it resets that dopamine in your brain. So then it's got you all itching and excited to try out and see what that new game is all about. Oh, and this is looking beautiful. I think we got it all finished and taken care of. And then we got the colors transferred over as well. Okay, now we got to see how this looks from afar. Okay, and oh my goodness, it's beautiful. Look at it. It's absolutely just gorgeous. I'm gonna add in some wood real quick. Wait, I think I'm all out of... Yeah, I'm all out of dark chocolate. That's also why I put this over here, so I could whip up some new blocks. Where is it? There it is. And by the way, does anybody here have like their game that they absolutely love? What's like, you know, one game that you love and you're like a diehard game of it? Of course, for me, it's Trove, and there are other games as well, but Trove stands out to me for one simple aspect, which is still amazing to this day as well. But while you guys are telling me about, like, I guess other games you have possibly played or like you're like diehard fans of, the reason why Trove stuck to me, at least why I first got so incredibly invested in it, was back on the Xbox One, which I still have. It's in my room, just chilling. But basically, when I first played Trove, and what made this so much better than Minecraft, at least at the time, was when you played what was it? Sorry, one second. When you first played Minecraft, at least on the Xbox One, I don't know if this was for other people. Oh man, I really got an itch right here. Hang on a second. I got an itch. Okay. All right, I got it. Let me switch it back over. But basically, whenever you I lost my train of thought. What was I talking about? I can't remember. What was it? I was talking about dang it. I lost it. Alright, well if that's the case, I'll probably just answer another question then. It was, if permadeath was added to Trove, would that ruin the game? I think if permadeath was added to Trove, that would probably be a 1 out of 10 idea, maybe even a 0 out of 10 idea. Because if permadeath was added to Trove, of course that would mean you would lose all your progress. But that would of course lead to some new opportunities to start all over again. But the entire community, I'm sure, would absolutely hate that idea. Because actually, is this the wrong height? I'll figure that out later. Anyways, yeah, so if permadeaths were added to this game, you already know how many people would hate that idea and wouldn't even know if they want to keep playing because of You know how, well, this game is mostly a grinding aspect where you just repeat the same thing over and over and, you know, hit like the peak and all that jazz. But yeah, if everybody had to restart over, you know how many players would be I can imagine the very last bit of their community would be absolutely infuriated by that idea. Oh my goodness. I even hate the idea of that. It's not even a thing and I just hate the thought of it. Having to restart over from zero? Well, that's not even like a it's sad to say, but that's not even like a make to believe, because that actually did happen, you know, with like the great band waves going on. Or no, not great, just the band waves. You said if they did add it, then people would start to grind the other characters more often. Uh, I think if they did, there would start to become like, I think this game would start to become like a speed running kind of game where, and then there would also be like there would also be like these extremely creative and crazy hideouts. I could see this game becoming an absolute war zone if they added in permadeaths. But as if it's like a thing where only very rarely places are affected by it, that would be fine. But I don't think it could be something where you completely reset. I think it would have to be something where you could lose some progress, but you can't lose all your progress. Or at least if you do lose progress, it cannot be enough to where you're just going to be like, okay, I'm done playing, never playing again. Oh, by the way, do you guys like my ramen shirt? Well, I can't really show the whole thing, but hopefully that shows a little bit of it. All right. Um, let's see. If they did add it, it would just be pure chaos because you would have people running for cover. There would have to be one hierarchy group where they're overpowered and they're constantly hunting down random people left and right. Like this would be a full-on this game would become a full-on bloodbath. It would no longer be the main objective of taking down the Daughter of the Moon. The main objective would start to become wiping out other players. Speaking of which, by the way, the only story I know it's a bit off topic, but so the Daughter of the Moon is the final boss of this game. Even though a lot of players, even today, even like newer players, can easily take her down. But the thing I don't get is if they decided, hey, let's no longer make the Daughter of the Moon the main objective and let's have it be like, I don't know, Krakens or something. It's like the hardest thing in the game right now. If they are going to do that, why are they keeping the same storyline? Why are they not fixing anything about the game? And why did they stop making the Daughter of the Moon irrelevant? Like, I understand they had the reason to do so, but it it leaves us feeling like we have no purpose in the game. Because the Daughter of the Moon is supposed to be unkillable. And let me show you guys real quick what I'm talking about as well. And even though I am the strongest player in the game, the Daughter of the Moon should still be enough to take down should be enough for a whole team to eliminate her. I want you guys to watch this real quick and see just how quickly I can take her down solo with no light buff for the week. Hang on, let me adjust this real quick. With no light buff for the week, no bonuses. It's just me and my basic subclass. I'm not even going to prep for it either. We're going to go to the toughest mode possible right now. We're going to fight her on ultra mode. Hardest difficulty. Why isn't it opening up? All right, whatever. Let's just take them down like how we normally do. And I want to show you guys what once was the toughest boss in the game. It's not to be disrespectful, but I just want to show you, I guess, what she's been reduced to in terms of like how easy it is to clear. I don't even think you can get lunar souls from these anymore. Like, you know, it still to this day has me wondering why did they remove the Daughter of the Moon's importance as well. Alright, so watch this. I'm just gonna fight like I normally do. First boss is already taken down. Thankfully I have some keys on me. Let's see if I can... Yeah, I don't even get lunar souls from this. And we're gonna just clear this whole thing like normal, and I get to show you guys just how tough these bosses are in today's date. I wish they would at least update these guys so they could still remain as like the unkillable bosses. Where, if you guys remember 2020, by the way, whenever you would fight the Daughter of the Moon, it was a group of the highest, strongest players under very rare circumstances, and were just barely be able to take down the Daughter of the Moon. But now, I think even if a player was 40k power, they might be able to take her down. Or not 40, but maybe even just 50k power would probably be enough. Alright, let's see how fast... Yeah. Just waiting for it to eliminate. And then we're going to claim the rewards, and then we're just going to keep progressing. This is actually great, too, because it's really helping me out with my tome books for the week. And sorry we had to go through the whole thing. I didn't want to go through the whole thing, but it feels like we don't really have much of a choice right now. And I'm also wasting a lot of flux too, because, yeah, that's another dumb thing as well. Even though there are still dupers running rampant and there's still things being exploited in the game, 5,000 flux is still a lot, even for a while ago, or even if it was present day. So, if this is the case, that's why you don't see anybody here anymore. And, well, yeah. Oh, also, I will be uploading my videos over to YouTube. I think I'm going to upload this one over to YouTube. Well, I don't know if I'm going to do it tonight. I can't do the other ones because I think they show some private information. I would have to figure out how to edit later on. So I don't want it to come back to bite me right now. So I'm just not going to upload those other ones. Or if I do, it can only be parts of it. And look, yeah, look at these. These are supposed to be the toughest bosses in the game. I'm able to do it solo. It's just taken... This one takes the longest because I believe it has the most HP. Alright, then we're just going to keep opening these up. Collecting our rewards. I'm not even getting rewards, by the way. These are like scraps of the game. Then we're just going to fight the Hydra real quick. Oh no, there's only 5 minutes left today to stream. And it's my free time. Ugh. Alright, while we're fighting these bosses as well, it says, what is your biggest gaming regret? And I can actually tell you guys, for at least Trove, not ever, but I will tell you guys my worst, well, yeah, there is the worst one. And, well, I'll tell you guys one about Trove first, and then I'll tell you one about my biggest gaming regret that I can think of. So, for Trove, I accidentally wasted, and I said the story only once before, at least on stream. The biggest regret I ever made was when I was playing the game, and this was only a couple of months ago too, this was the worst mistake I made on Trove ever, which was hang on a second. Wait, what's going on? All right, let me eliminate this guy real quick. All right, there we are. Got the box. But so take a look at, let's see. I think this is a great example of it right here. Yeah. So when I was first powering up my, wait, what did that say? Bonus 50% something damage? Class bonus one player class now deals 50% damage? What is that? I've never seen that before. Anyways, yeah. So when I was playing Trove, like how I normally do, and there's something called class gem abilities. And at the time, I didn't really know that there were specific ones you needed. I just thought, okay, if I get a mystic gem, then that's it. And I never once really asked about it any further until the worst thing possible happened. Little did I know, I accidentally lost 3 months of upgrading materials, 9th lives, all of it in a single afternoon, and I didn't even know it. So basically, me and a group of everybody else that you know that typically play Trove, we're in a party when we were yapping it up about, and then it eventually led over to class gems, and then they started talking about them. I'm like, wait, so what are you guys talking about when you say like they need like certain abilities? And they're like, well, what are you talking about? You know about their abilities, right? I'm like, maybe. And then they're like, what's your stats? And I was a little hesitant too, but I showed them the stats and it was the worst thing possible. every single gem except for my class gem was the wrong one because I didn't know you needed certain class gem, or I didn't know you needed certain abilities on your gems. That's why for a while I always wondered what happened to the red ring of death, which is known as the pyro disc. I always wondered how to get that back, but I thought it was like only certain classes you get it or something. But that meant, and I was like, oh no, I had a fully maxed out mystic gem, level 35 cosmic one, that I just spent all my 9th lives on, and I realized I just lost 3 months of materials. But that was like 2 months after this mistake. And here, by the way, is the daughter of the moon. Like I was saying, you seen I'm even able to yap without even needing to lock in fighting these bosses. So let's take a look here. So just keep in mind I have no light bonus on. I'm not gonna regenerate flask. I'm gonna fight her head on, and I'm gonna treat her like nothing different or nothing crazy. But yes, I just realized I also had to reset my level 32 crystal gem, which I realized had the wrong abilities, for both my fire, water, and cosmic. So it took me until about a month or 2 ago. I'd probably say 2 months ago. It took 2 months for me to be able to finally have the right gems, the right stats, and everything else. Like you could see, the hardest thing on this list was easily the pyro disc. The berserk battler I eventually got, and like you can see, they're maxed out now. I still have a few more gems that can be upgraded. I'm just piling up their 9th lives, and I'll be able to grind those out in one single day. Look at this, by the way. The toughest boss in the game. The ultimate end goal of Trove. And I am able to single-handedly take her down without even trying. I'm just popping flash so that way this goes by quicker. Look at that. 14.6 seconds to take down the hardest boss in the game. Yes, the pyro disc is terrible. At least getting the fire one for me. I was cursed for not getting the fire one. But look at that. That took me 14 seconds to take down the once strongest boss in the game. And I'm still upset that they haven't updated her. I don't know why. Because when I first fought the Daughter of the Moon, I was getting goosebumps in my hands, and my controller was like shaking too. Just trying to fight her on normal mode back in 2020. But now I'm able to treat her like basically any other boss, except I get less rewards fighting her than anything else. I'm actually losing flux fighting her. But enough of me yapping. I'll see if I can answer one more question, and then sadly that'll be it for me today. But don't forget, we will do something special for when we hit 150 followers. And oh wait, so there's 2 things I'm gonna do just before I sign off, or 3 things I'm gonna do. The first thing will be I'm gonna double check on Marketplace, and probably no, I'll save that for last because that'll just be, I guess, for me. It'll probably be off stream. So, oh my goodness, look at this. The game's crashing again. Well, that's Trove for you. Right. So, let's see. So, the second to last thing I'm gonna do for today is... oh. Actually, no, I think I'll just do the last thing right now. So, let me find this real quick. Just give me a hot second. There we are. So I made some brand new alerts for Twitch, and I'm really happy with how well they went. I don't want to spoil them, but I'll at least play one of them. It's not finished yet, but I at least got some audio for it. Here, listen to this real quick. So this will be if I ever get another subscription, which I'm so thankful to still have that single one. You know, I can't even believe I got a subscription, but take a look at this. And be prepared, everybody, this is a bit loud. uh. Well, that'll be if we ever get another subscription or a possible bits donation. I'll make sure that plays for you guys. I just I just thought it was hilarious. There were so many other ones I wanted to choose, but those would have had my channels taken down, so I can't choose those. So I just chose that one because I thought it was funny. Still working on of course, an actual display for it. Unless you guys want me to pick something out that you pick, that I can definitely do that. So, it's 6:03. It sucks, but I think it's my time to get off for today. It's not that I don't want to. I would love to, but you know how schoolwork is. You don't want it to creep up on you and then just ambush you and then you get a bad grade on something. So I'm gonna hang out with everybody for like maybe 30 minutes after this, and then I'm gonna get started on a lot of work to do tonight. But anyways, thank you everybody so much for watching. If you were here for this whole time and you haven't already, if you're interested in following, I would love it. And hopefully I didn't yap anybody's ears off. Oh, and I guess one final reminder, if we hit 150 followers, don't forget I will be pretty much vandalizing the queue with googly eyes. Unless you guys don't want that, I could just do something else then. But anyways, thank you so much, and I will see you guys Thursday. There is a 50% chance I will be on Thursday. Let me think of a time. Thursday. Probably expect me late at night, or no, just sometime in the afternoon. At least after 3 or 4 p.m. I should be on sometime around that time, but you'll of course get the notification. Anyways, thank you so much and have a wonderful night.